evening. Dr. Wu here, and I'm about to take a questionnaire on academic procrastination among Hong Kong U-Space students. Okay, so thanks for the introduction and the disclaimer. Okay, let's see if it takes a few minutes as opposed to 10 minutes to complete this questionnaire. Okay, here we are. So we have 18, 19, 3-year interval, 21. Okay, good. So these intervals are consistent. I prefer not to say. Academic year. What if I'm studying English? What if your classmates are not in any of these? Or you are going to only give this questionnaire to music, media, and geography students? Okay. How important is it for you to finish the academic tasks on time? Okay, good. I like this importance scale. That's clear. Which of the following tasks do you procrastinate on most often? But you can select more, but you're asking for most. So just consider that you're allowed to tick more than one when you're actually asking most, which should only be one. So you may want to split this up and ask, I procrastinate on individual assignments. And then you can have a Likert scale, like strongly agree to strongly disagree. So you actually ask 4 questions. That would be interesting. At this point for question 6, I'm not sure the question and what you want or how you allow students to answer are coherent. Okay, so you may want your classmates to, you may want to enumerate what 2, 3, and 4 also mean. It's not necessarily clear what 2 is or 4 is. Is 4 sometimes? Or is 3 sometimes? Or 2 rarely? Okay, so you might want to enumerate that. When do you usually begin working on academic tasks? You can ask, I was thinking you could actually ask a specific academic task, like your research report. What does immediately mean? On the same day of the deadline, the night before the deadline, a few days. So you can actually see the intervals are not the same. Maybe you want to fix that up. Like you have one day, and then you have another day, like the day before the deadline. And then you have 2 days before the deadline. So, again, you may want to consider like changing the intervals so that they're consistent. Do you think procrastination has seriously affected your academic performance? No. Rate your... you can also just change this to a Likert scale. Procrastination has seriously affected my academic performance. Strongly disagree. Rate your agreement on the following statements. Okay, so we have Likert scale questions. Why often? Well, you may want to remove this because what if I say I sometimes delay? Okay, so I delay, and check your language too. There are too many words here. I delay starting assignments till the last minute. Okay, so let's not use the word often here. I perform better academically under pressure. So you may want to merely talk about academics. Okay, so you're presenting reasons. Well, why not? This is kind of double-barreled. Just say if the tasks are boring, okay? Don't give them more than one answer. If you want to ask two things, then create another question item. I procrastinate because the tasks are unchallenging. I feel anxious when I procrastinate. Okay, again, you're asking two things here. So make two items. I use social media to avoid doing academic tasks. I use non-social media entertainment. Okay, so again, there are ways to do this without making it either or. Why do you procrastinate? But what if it's none of the above? So you need to present a way out for your classmates. If none of these are, what if I don't think any of these are your choices, not your classmates' choices. So, but I have to answer one too. So even if it's none of the above, you're forcing me to answer. Sure. What do you mean by help or advice? Yeah, this seems to be a pretty vague question. So maybe you don't even need to ask this question. You just ask this question. And then people can tick all of them or none of them. Okay, so you don't necessarily need to ask this question. So this is effective. Again, I'm not sure what 2, 3, and 4 are, so you probably should enumerate them. Somewhat effective, rarely effective, effective. So maybe you want to write out the rating scale. Do you feel regret and guilt? Check the language of your questions, please. Give it to AI. After procrastinating, okay, so please feed your questions to AI so that the language is accurate. So this is double-barreled. Just say, do you feel regret? And then you can ask another question. Do you feel guilt? Okay, you don't need to ask for two things. Because your classmates may only have one. Right? So ask two questions, one about regret, one about guilt. Very. So kindly check the accuracy of your language in your question items and check the intervals, that the intervals are the same of your choices, and check that the choices and the questions you are asking cohere. Thank you and bless you.